Hey guys, Trapper John coming at you with another Awaken Chaos Area video. So today's video is going to be a fast one. We are going to go ahead and cover the limited summons. I know it's been a minute since I did a video on this. I do apologize. I've been running late and behind. However, the girlfriend did finally make it home yesterday. She made it home about 9 o'clock. So I do want to say thank you to everybody who reached out, showed their love, support. It was very nice. She appreciated it as well. I mean, especially since some of you guys know her. But you guys were all concerned and sending your prayers and your love, and I want to thank you guys very much for that. It definitely tells me I'm creating a good community, and I love it. So thank you so much. But yeah, so like I said, this video we're gonna go over the limited summons. I'm gonna kind of talk about a few other general things and the compass of this video. And yeah, stay tuned. All right, so like I said, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cover the limited summons. I know I'm behind. I think I'm about 3 or 4 days behind on the limited summons. Oh wow, I'm like 5 days behind on limited summons. I'm gonna post this as soon as you guys, well, as soon as I finish recording it. Honestly, it's gonna get posted on a Sunday. So hopefully this will help you out and make any last minute decisions for you. I'm also gonna be posting another video where I talk about the Void Tower. I did do a big push in the Void Tower. I'm gonna go ahead and cover what I did, what I noticed, what seemed to work really well. I usually do this for every Void Tower rotation, right? So for this video, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna talk about these limited summons. Now, I do want you to go ahead and note that there is Lydia, Zitlin, and Avera. If you are looking for a service or a information guide, definitely go check out joeflyelite.com/ace. That'll have a tier list with all the new champions on it listed up where I grade them as far as where to use them. This is only for PvE content, not for PvP. I'm probably going to work on within the next week weighting those a little bit more, so that way it really drives those numbers more for how beneficial certain areas are compared to others. Maybe that'll give us a more accurate guide as far as representation of what characters lay. But with that being said, we have Lydia, Zitlin, and Avera. Now, I'm going to do a high level really quickly with these characters, and then I'm going to go into their kits. Okay, so first things first, Lydia. Now, Lydia, she could be useful. However, the big thing that note with her is she has this dodge 35% plus the dodge lifesteal if you get her to the Ascension 2. The big thing that she does is this counter attack, right? So high level, is she worth pulling for on this banner? No, she's not. Lydia is fun. She's a good character. Is she one of those, if you have Zitlin and Avera and you don't have a Lydia, are you going to pull for Lydia? Absolutely not. If you get a Lydia, it's kind of okay, but not someone you're going to go for immediately. Zitlin, though, however, now let's talk about Zitlin really quickly. Like I said, Highbrow, we're going to go through their kits a little bit more. But Highbrow, this ability right here, when it's booked down to a 6-turn cooldown paired with like a Winstrix or someone else, or even just general damage dealers, is super impactful. I've literally seen content that should have been impossible get done on easy mode with Zitlin. If you do not have a Zitlin, I would say it's probably okay to pull on the banner for Zitlin. Now, next character we're gonna talk about is gonna be Avera. Now, Avera, I love Avera. You guys have all heard me harp and preach about, okay, if you're gonna start off, you're doing a brand new account, who to summon, who to have. Avera's on that list. She's going to be your best rookie summon champion, in my opinion. She's going to be the best for personal progression. I know when I'm doing all my content for Mythic, for farming for glyphs, or doing Void Tower, Endless Trials, a lot of the grindy type like content, essentially, I'm using Avera. She's very, very good. She is RNG based as well, because you do have this 120 to 160, which goes up to what is it, like 160 to 200%, which is great. And she also has this other ability where she's going to attack. She's got a strip, she's got a defensive down. She's got a lot of things going on with her kit. Like I said, you're going to want to get her for your rookie summon. So this means you may already have an Avera. Should you still pull for another one? In my personal opinion, I would, mainly because it helps a little bit with this special ability and Ascensions. And we'll talk about that more in just a second when I go through everyone's kits here. Overall, though, I would say Avera is worth pulling for on this banner. So just as a quick recap, right? So we've said Lydia, not really worth it. Zitlin, worth it. Avera, worth it. That's 66%. In my opinion, this is worth pulling on if you do not have these characters. If you do, maybe pass on it, because it's limited summons, right? So you do get limited amount of the Stardust. You can't buy your way through it all, unfortunately. You do have to progress in the Void Tower to kind of accumulate this, as well as certain events. So it is a little harder to get this Stardust. So you need to really be more picky on what you take moving forward. High level though, I would say this one's definitely worth pulling on. All right, now let's get into the details as to why this is worth pulling on and what the characters can do for you and where you would possibly use them. Now that I've told you, hey, go ahead and sink a little bit of resources into this. So let's start off with Lydia. She's going to be the not recommend, and that's only because it's RNG. I'm really big on the spreadsheets, on the calculating data, the saying, okay, well, this character needs to do this content, this character needs to do this content. It makes sense to have characters that are more guaranteed damage dealers, guaranteed tunes, right? Dodge is a variable percentage of effectiveness. So this means 35% of the time, anyone who attacks her just straight up misses. It's not like a deflect, it's not like a weak element hit or anything like that. It's literally a null and void, no damage taken. But it's only 35% effective, and there's no way to really counter it, so you can't really counter Lydia. Like, there is other champions who have like precision, which helps. There's I think Vidar is an elite who also has dodge, and you see it a lot in his kit. These characters are sometimes super hard to hit. However, it's so variable, it's hard to say that it makes or breaks their kit. Now, her ultimate is it's okay. It's 200% damage to an enemy if this lands a critical strike, damaging Norse 50% of defense. That is amazing itself, but it goes down to a 4-turn cooldown, which is what it is. But that's isn't really like how you use her. This isn't where her kit comes into play. Even though this is damaging Norse 50% of defense, that's awesome. But that's no different than if they had like a plus 50% defense up buff, right? It would negate this, and then at that point, is it really worth it? Which is coincidentally something that's going to get talked about in the in the Void Tower video I'm going to do. Next thing is upon dodging, counterattacks to deal 140% damage. If this ability lands a critical strike, ignores 50% of damage. Now this gets booked all the way up to a 200% damage, same as her ulti. This ability is really what makes her key as far as if you're going to use her or not use her. She's known for you attack her, you try to kill her. Well, she dodges, she does that counterattack, and that's how she does all of her damage. This is what really allows her to be a massive damage dealer if you are going to use her. Like I said, not worth pulling for, but if you do have her, this is the ability that you really want to use and build up, so to speak, and keep in mind when attacking. You want to put her in like an assassin set, so that way every time she does a counterattack, it has a chance to proc. Because it does just as much damage as her ulti here. So she essentially has a counterattack that does an ulti, right? This also plays into effect on multi-hitters. So every time she gets hit, if she dodges, so on and so forth, she does the counterattack. And I mean that in the sense of like, if it's a multi-hit, like hits 4 times like a Kayn or something like that. I mean, if it's like an Avera who does her main attack and then she has the chance to proc that second attack, depending on her rage counter. In between, she would attack. That's what that means. That means like as far as once one ability ends, another one starts, she does a counterattack. So they are multi-hitters as far as their chaining abilities, like a Hector or like a Vera, so on and so forth. She can counterattack. That's what I mean by that. A1, accuracy down is super impactful, right? Accuracy is pretty much what helps people hit characters that can use dodge. So this just helps synergize with their kit. Overall, it's all about this energy with Lydia. She's essentially just like a ghost where she can't be hit. She's supposed to be super assassin type, and you have to really, well, it's a lot of attacks to kill her. But like I said, it's too variable for me to go ahead and recommend her. So that's Lydia in a nutshell. All right, let's talk about the next character on the list. That's gonna be Zytlin. Now, Zytlin is one of those where he was God tier right off the get-go. Everyone kind of, once they figured out what his ultimate did, he was God tier. He kind of got sidelined once Abaddon got nerfed because him and Abaddon just synergized so well. It was guild boss. It was, oh my god, it was just such a, like, literally, the reaction from people was insane. However, now we've kind of played with him a little bit more and we know a little bit more how to use him. He's also going to be part of another video I'm going to do because he's kind of healing a kit. So let's go ahead and go over his kit and talk about it. First things first, what everyone knows him for is this curse ability. For those of you who don't know what curse is or don't know how it's used, for the duration of this effect, 100% of damage taken by this character is taken at the time of tallying. What this means, the quick, short and dirty of this is once curse goes on an enemy, right? It's 2 turns. During those 2 turns, they will take damage, right? However, Curse has not settled yet. It has not tallied. That's what that means. So at the end of 2 turns, Curse gets tallied. So that means any damage you do from the time Curse lands until the time that Curse tallies gets re-inflicted. So essentially, from the time you place this until the time it procs, you do double the damage. So if you start off with 0 damage, and say you run up the damage all the way up to like 200% when it's time to do the tallying, right? That's the end of the 2 turns, then it would double it. Amazing ability. It makes killing bosses really quick and easy. There's so many level 12 comps out there that use Zitlan. I use Zitlan to cheese through the bounty hunts. It was literally no problem, super easy as long as I use Zitlan. All right, next ability we're gonna talk about is gonna be the A2. Shield and heal over time. Grants a shield before any team member takes damage. 20% of the damage received is converted into heal over time for 1 turn. Can only be triggered once per turn. This is really helpful for characters who say are getting a target that are going to get nuked right from someone else. Essentially, it allows them to take a little bit less damage, get a little bit of it mitigated, and then healed back up. This isn't really a strong ability he has. It's kind of like this is a nice little bonus that he's got going for him. The next thing we're going to talk about is going to be the A1 ability. Deal 80% damage, which really is 100% damage to an enemy and applies precision down for 1 turn. Precision down is what's needed for, say, off elements to really strong attack somebody, right? They use precision. There's a precision check to say, oh, can my water element character destroy this wood element character, or are they going to get deflected and then lose a lot of their damage? They're going to get multiplied. Precision circumnavigates that, and so this allows him to put down precision down. So if you are strong element against somebody, well, you're going to take less damage from them, right? So in this case, say a wood unit were to attack Zitlan and they have precision down on them, they automatically lose 30 precision. It's going to make it super hard for them to crit on you. Okay, next ability is going to be his passive, and this is actually more, it's funny because this is actually more impactful than a lot of people realize and don't give credit for Zitlan. It's 10% accuracy, 10 plus 10% precision. Once you get him ascended, I think it goes up to 20% of both. Like I just explained to you about the whole precision thing. Having that additional precision is amazing. Having that additional accuracy is also amazing because you have focus, then you have accuracy. Accuracy allows you to circumnavigate, like dodge, right? So it's funny that they put this in here with Lydia, because Zitlan's one of those characters where if you bring Zitlan in and you're facing a Lydia, well, you're gonna have a lot better chance of hitting that Lydia, for 1. For 2, this also allows your characters to be able to just hit characters much better, because this gives them some accuracy, which plays into their focus and their precision, as well as their chance to get deflected goes down. It's very impactful passive that a lot of people just don't talk about. Overall, he's an amazing character. He's just circumstantial. He's going to be used for bossing, not so much for any other content. All right, the next character we're going to talk about is going to be Avera. I love Avera. She's by far one of my favorite characters nowadays. I run her constantly on everything. She does so much damage for me. It's not even funny. Like I enjoy her skills, her kit, probably one of the best ones in my opinion. And that's because 1, aesthetic, she's on par. For 2, she does a lot of stuff. So she's got an ultimate ability here that basically can do 160% to 200% damage and grants attack up to this character for 3 turns. I don't like that this attack up comes afterwards, but it's okay because what happens is boom, this ability procs. It's a 5-turn cooldown. And then what she will do is she will do this rage per valid hit on an enemy, max rage, converts all rage into bonus attack with an artillery support upon reaching max rage. And this does another 40 to 60% damage, right? And that's because she's doing an AoE. It's going to hit 4 characters if they're on the field, which gives her her rage counter, which then allows her to do that additional damage. So that means she does her damage, she gives herself an attack up, and then she go ahead and procs this artillery support. So the artillery support is like a supplemental damage, which isn't truly 60%. It's actually more than that because you have an attack up. You've already done a lot of nuking damage, anywhere between 160% to 200%, depending on what RNG range you proc for the ultimate. On top of, she is a prime character and candidate to always run Avarice set on, which gives you an additional 50% damage on all of her attacks. So just think about that, the amount of damage here. So this could be really 90% to 110% plus the attack boost. So you're 120, 130, somewhere around there. It's a lot of damage on a supportive ability. plus this 200% realistic 250. Overall, she's just cranking in the DPS. You're well over 300% damage using a Vera. I think a lot of people sleep on that and don't understand the math behind this, so they don't really like to recommend a Vera as a starting character, but she's literally one of those, once you get her crit, she does so much damage, and then hopefully you just keep building up her crit damage. Now, moving on to her other ability is going to be her A2. Deal 80% damage to an enemy, removes a positive effect from the target, and if affected by attack up, then launches a bonus attack with gunfire. So if you proc the ultimate and then you proc this ability here, that leaves her with an attack up, right? This also means she's going to proc her gunfire ability, which is going to be this one here. Deal 50% damage to an enemy and reduces all ability cooldowns by 1. This is literally just like it states here. So this becomes a 3-turn cooldown. This becomes a 4-turn cooldown at that point because you've already used 1 turn. So it's down to a 5-turn. A 4-turn, then down to a 3-turn because you've used the ability here, and it's booked down to a 5-turn. Overall, the synergy is just there, so it just allows you to boom, boom, slowly start building down the cooldowns so she can do more damage. Her A1 is deal 60% damage to an enemy with a 15% chance to apply bleeding for 2 turns. Bleeding is okay, it's not the best in the world, but it helps. If affected by attack up, then launches a bonus attack with gunfire. Once again, gunfire, same ability. So the key knowledge and thought process behind there is if you keep attack up, she does a lot of multi-hit, multi-chaining attacks, which does a lot of damage for you. On top of each enemy she is hitting gives her a rage. Once she gets more rage, she's going to do more damage because she's going to proc the additional attack called artillery support. So as you're progressing through waves with her, right, she can proc it because she's hitting more targets. It's systematically able to calculate how much damage she can do. It's just a little RNG on the ultimate, which is a little not great to tune. However, it's just an amazing ability to have. I definitely recommend you guys getting a Vera, and definitely taking the time to get her also her ultimate here. So her ultimate, what that does is not only does it at max range after using artillery support, you get to do a bonus attack. There's also a 50% chance to expend all rage and apply defensive down for 2 rounds. So she can also do a defensive down buff as well, which is also super impactful. It really makes a difference when the character has defensive down and you do all this damage, and when they don't have defensive down and they take all this damage. It's massive. It's a massive amount of difference. But yeah, that's going to be it for the characters, for the breakdowns. I'm also going to talk about just really quickly what epics they have here. We have Borden. I can't stand the guy, but he's not a bad character. Kane, we were actually seeing useful in Dawn, this new Dawn Guard event. William is amazing. He's a legendary trapped in an epic's body, in my opinion. Kyle, man, he is what he is. Antonua is a very good character. She's amazing for the single target damage dealer nuker. Definitely worth investing in. Scarlet, I love my girl Scarlet. She is useful in so many applications. Everyone sleeps on her. I'll be doing a guide on her very soon. Overall, epic wise, we've got at least 1, 2, 3 epics in my opinion that are well worth pulling for. That makes this overall grade a pullable banner. I'm not going to pull on it because I have all the epics maxed, and I have Zitlin almost maxed, and Avera's A2 already, and Lydia's A3, I think, or something like that. However, for those who don't have those characters, I do recommend it. You got 7 days to get it. Good luck. May the force be with you, and hopefully you can get the characters in this limited time. Stay tuned. We're going to have another video where I talk about the Void Tower Hard as well as a special announcement, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.